Welcome back, and thank you for sticking around with us at Oracle TV. I have the pleasure of sitting down with TK Anand, who is the Executive Vice President of Oracle Health and Analytics. Thank you so much for being here, TK.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Well, I am excited to get your perspective on how we are the only cloud company that can bring this unified AI technology to the healthcare industry. So first, let's actually just start off with this question. When we say AI applications suite in the context of Oracle Health and Life Sciences, what does that mean? Can you break that down for us?
I mean, if you think about Oracle, in our SaaS application space, in the SaaS application space, we've always been doing application suites. If you look at the Fusion application suite that brings in ERP, CRM, supply chain and manufacturing, HCM. We bring that all into an integrated architecture and an integrated user experience. That's one application suite. NetSuite has always been built with a suite approach from the ground up. We're doing exactly that same approach to Oracle Health and Life Sciences as well, because it has tremendous benefits that I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah. So these are not separate. They are together, essentially integrated, right?
Yeah. So basically, the thing is, the point of the Oracle Health AI application suite. That's the official name we're using now, thanks to Larry.
Yeah.
And it's an integrated suite of applications. We don't want to think of them as discrete applications.
Okay.
It's one architecture. It's one architecture running on OCI. It has a single autonomous database, what we call the semantic database. The semantic database contains all the information about the healthcare system. It's got this one knowledge graph that contains all the information about your healthcare workflows, your care pathways,
Yes.
all of the medical standards from the industry, all of that captured in there. We have an agent framework that's built on top of it that powers all of your AI use cases on top. And then we have user experiences and workflows for different types of users. We have clinical user experiences for ambulatory care, acute care, specialties. We have patient engagement experiences, like the patient portal for any consumer, like you and I. Then we have experiences for administrators that manage the healthcare environment and manage all the clinical operations. And we've got experiences for people who are managing, the folks on the finance side of things, doing claims management, handling reimbursement, denial management. But ultimately, it's all running on top of one platform, because the power of that is that all of the data gets to get shared. So especially when you're infusing AI-driven intelligence into these applications, you can't take a siloed approach. For example, when you have a doctor about to prescribe care to a patient, they should know whether the care is going to get reimbursed or not.
Absolutely.
That can't be in a separate system saying, oh, the provider-payer contract, that particular provider might have a contract with the payer that is insuring the patient, and that contract might be totally different from another contract that a different provider and patient might have. And that intelligence needs to take that into account, because ultimately we want to make sure that all care is reimbursed. There's 100% approvals. That's only possible when all this data comes together, because AI is only as good as the data you feed it. So the more complete and rich the data is, that's how you get powerful AI that can really deliver that transformative experience. That's the suite approach.
So I would say it can't be separate. It has to be integrated. And why is this full suite important to healthcare right now? I mean, what's critical about this moment?
I mean, the healthcare industry has been so underserved by healthcare IT systems. I'm sure everyone here in this conference would say that the IT systems that power healthcare have been underserved by technology that has not been keeping up with the rest of the tech industry. It hasn't kept up with the tech industry in terms of performance, scalability, API interoperability, open ecosystems, user experience, all of this stuff. This is all the stuff that we'll bring. All of this is what we plan to bring in with the new Oracle Health Suite. And then the suite approach is something that we as Oracle is proven. We know that it provides tremendous benefits to customers as opposed to the siloed approach of disparate applications. That's the other thing that we want to bring in. And ultimately, we are in the era of AI. We are in the era of AI where that integrated approach is almost necessary, because, like I just said, if you want to have the AI derive intelligence in a particular workflow, but by looking at not just the data that is in that silo, but looking at all of the data, all of the information, you've got to have that suite approach, because only with the integrated suite, as the data come together, the knowledge comes together, then you can have those kinds of intelligence, like the one example I gave you about, like, what's the point of prescribing a surgery for a patient? What's the point of prescribing surgery as the next step, when you know the insurance company is going to say, well, you've got to go through 2 rounds of physical therapy before we're going to go pay for surgery next? Then you might as well go through that step. And why make it so hard on the doctor and the patient to go figure all of this out when all of this information is there in these contracts? And get AI models are great at reading documents. Contracts are just documents. And let's go provide that at the point of care.
Absolutely. So you mentioned these pain points. So in this new AI era, as you called it, it's, what are we doing that's different that our competitors are not?
Well, first of all, we are at Oracle. Oracle has this deep bench. Oracle has a deep bench of cloud technology. It starts with OCI. It starts with OCI, which provides us with all of the performance, scalability, security, reliability, all of the data center reach, and all of that comes to the Oracle Health System. On top of OCI, we've got Autonomous Database, which provides all these amazing capabilities such as JSON relational duality. We've got the vector store. We've got all of the other amazing capabilities. And that's what enables us to build that integrated semantic database, that integrated knowledge graph that I just talked about on top of this. So this is sort of unique to the healthcare industry. No one's really done this. Like, we know that this, a lot of the other vendors, what they're doing is, they're taking AI agents and layering them on top of their legacy systems without actually thinking through the data foundation that's necessary to provide that truly integrated experience. So these are some of the things that we're doing in terms of solving the hard problems to achieve this AI-driven experience that I think is quite differentiated.
You just nodded to this, but it's not just bolted on. It's that built in.
It's built in. It's not bolted on. That's a great way to summarize it.
And so, what benefits are we seeing from customers? Are we hearing anything from customers?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the AI agents, for like node generation, chart review, nursing have already been released. We're already they're in the hands of customers. Over 250 customers already have our clinical AI agent, and they've already reported huge benefits. Doctors are spending less time staring at the EHR screen on their computer and typing in notes. They're spending more time engaging their patients. That's improving the quality of patient care. It's also helping with clinician burnout. Clinician burnout is a huge problem that got into the healthcare industry over the last few years, especially since the early days of COVID. And these are all things that the AI-driven automation is really helping. So we're seeing those benefits. And the new EHR, the new health suite, is still in early days. We went through a beta cycle with a couple of customers, and we're right now released the ambulatory version of the new health suite. It's going through certifications, and then we hope to go big in terms of deployments. But even the beta customers are reporting, they're like amazed that we're able to deploy the new health suite on top of their existing Cerner Millennium environments with very little effort. The customers don't need to go through a massive migration process or anything. And then the user experience, it is pretty powerful. Actually, one of our customers, Hudson, reported that their clinicians was able to start using a brand new product with very little training or direction. So I think all of these are very heartening. And some of the reactions from clinicians have been like so humbling. Like doctors saying things like, now I can actually go on a real lunch break, sit down at the cafeteria and have lunch, as opposed to like rushing down, bringing a sandwich to my desk and typing clinician notes.
Yeah.
A doctor had to go meet with a patient who was in an end-of-life type situation, and they felt like the AI really helped them go through that difficult conversation. Things of that nature. So it really feels like we're on the right track in terms of the kinds of outcomes we want to achieve in health.
Absolutely, we're on the right track. And so I want to wrap up with a final question and kind of combining two that I have in my brain. And that's, the first is that would you say, I guess, we're able to coexist with other technologies, and then let that answer lead into this next question, which is, what's this roadmap ahead for the future? Not just right now, but beyond that.
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, like one key principle of the integrated health suite, one key principle of the suite is that it's got interoperability that's baked into it. It's got interoperability baked into it, open APIs, which is something I mentioned earlier. So we can work with other health systems. We can work with some of the other EHRs in terms of ingesting patient. Like we recognize that patients go to multiple providers, their general care physician, they go to specialists. Some of those providers might be running other systems that are not managed by Oracle. So the healthcare industry has been very clear that interoperability is very important. So I think that's going to be it's a key part of our strategy. Also, having modern APIs so that partners can plug in their products on top of ours. So, for example, we don't have to build all the AI agents. We can have partners build agents on top of our platform as well. Well, that can only happen if you've got open public APIs. So that's a key part of what we're building into the next generation health suite. And in terms of roadmap, basically, there's so much happening. We've done so much. We've written so much over the past year. We've just released the ambulatory version of the new Oracle Health Suite. We're going to keep expanding. Like the healthcare is a huge space. We've got a lot of surface area to cover. We're going to get into acute. We're going to get into the specialties. We have to also look at the non-clinician personas, patients. People like you and I deserve engaging experiences to interact with our healthcare data, to interact with our doctors, find out about our health history, not from a single provider, but also kind of having that multi-provider look of the timeline of our health history, which providers I visited, what were my lab results, where am I right now, what should I be doing when I have my doctor's visit next month, what question should I be asking, like maybe ChatGPT, like an experience, can guide me into, it's not going to provide care for me, but it can guide me into having intelligent conversations with my doctor about health. So patient engagement is a huge area that we're working on. That's going to get released very soon. Revenue cycle management, that healthcare systems are going through a lot of pain dealing with just the simple task of getting reimbursed for the care that they render. It's a hugely complicated problem, and we're going to roll out a collection of reimbursement-focused AI agents that are going to tackle that. I can keep going on and on. I mean, I haven't even touched life sciences and a data platform for analytics and so forth. There's a ton of work happening, and we'll keep releasing that every quarter over the next year and even longer.
That's amazing. The roadmap, I mean, it sounds energizing, even with everything you didn't touch on, and it also sounds critical. But thank you so much, TK. I have really enjoyed spending time with you, and I tell you, anytime that I listen to you, it's just enlightening, and I feel like you're always here to inform and educate. So thank you for spending some time with us. And thanks to all of you. And we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, more AI in action.